Hello, guys, gals, and non binary pals. Welcome back to another video. I'm Lena Lilith, and today we're going to be looking at aftercare. Now, before we begin, it's important to remember that aftercare is a must. The aftercare needs is dependent on the submissive, the dominant, and the play that was specifically done. People's needs are different, so if it works for you, well, it may not work for somebody else. Aftercare begins during the negotiation phase. If you'd like to hear more about negotiation, please look at our BDSM The Scene video. I will try to put a link up above or at the end of this video. We tried it on our video last week, and yeah, I have no idea if it even worked, so we'll at least try. It's important to know what you and your partner or partners need after a scene has occurred. Your partner's needs may change depending on the type of scene that was done. For instance, if a scene is quote unquote softer, the needs will be quote smaller compared to a scene that has, say, knife play with blood play elements, which will include cleaning wounds, a shower, bandages, lotions, etc. As you can tell, I made this text much larger for a reason. If you've ever looked at erotica or BDSM text on aftercare, they focus on the needs of the submissive. Now, I'm not saying that the submissive doesn't need aftercare, because I'm not. The submissive does need aftercare. However, many people forget about the dominant. Typically, what I end up hearing or seeing is, oh, but they weren't the ones getting hit with a flogger, or they weren't the ones being overstimulated, or whatever. Well, that is true. But they are the ones swinging that flogger. They were the ones saying degrading words or overstimulating the submissive, whatever was being done. They're part of the scene too. So, submissives, please don't forget about your dominant or dominants. Now, as we said earlier, aftercare is dependent on the individual needs and the type of scene that was done. Some people may need little or extensive aftercare. And some will have an aftercare kit, which I will kind of go over later on in this video and again go over it in another bigger video. So what we mean by little aftercare ideas, we're talking about kettles, maybe a bottle of water, maybe a little snack, a shower, wearing a cute hoodie, things that aren't too much for this purpose. And quote, extensive would mean, like, especially if there's a hard scene, like attending to cuts, bruises, ice packs, heating pads, needing alone time before you really get into the deep stuff of aftercare. Now, I'm not saying that one of these is greater than the other, but just understand that some people may need a little more aftercare, and for sure, if you are doing a harder scene, more aftercare is needed to take care of them. Now, aftercare kits are kits that have the typical things that the person needs or they may need during aftercare. Most commonly, this is someone in a scene who has been a part of the community and kind of already knows exactly what they need. However, even if you're new to the scene, you can do your research and kind of figure out some things that you may need for this scene in particular, or things that you might need, so you just went ahead and packed it. Aftercare kits are not exactly limited to the things that are on the screen. However, this is kind of a generalized kit, and they're also things that I tend to have in my own aftercare bag. For me, after scene, I always have a hoodie. We have some other health things going on, and so typically after scene, I'm really cold. So it's really hard for me to focus and get back into my normal headspace, so I always have a hoodie. I do have an extra blanket just in case if I need something soft, but more often than not, I just wear my hoodie. I always have my water bottle. However, I personally recommend having something like Gatorade in it, something that replenishes your electrolytes, especially if you're doing those, say, harder scenes or you've been crying. Stuffies, especially if you're someone who tends to regress, I definitely recommend stuffies in your bag. Lotion, this can also be for just scent, but also for soothing any bruises and lumps. No, I don't actually take ice with me, but I do have a ice pack. That way it's easier for me to fill it up with ice wherever I'm at. I also have a small little heating pad. It's not very big, and honestly, it doesn't work very well, so I probably need to get a new one, but hey. Also, a first aid kit. Now, I'm sure everyone's going, why do you need a first aid kit? But like I mentioned earlier, especially if you have harder scenes, it might be necessary to have a first aid kit, like if you get a cut and you need to put a quick band-aid on it. However, it's again isn't just for the submissive. I also keep it in there for my dominant because we have had it where they got like a really bad splinter before, and well, we had to do something about it. So, first aid kit is recommended for everybody. Also, some people find it very helpful to kind of recenter themselves using music, whether it's from your iPod, MP3 player, whatever. I have an iPod and I just kind of keep it charged and wrapped up in my bag. And then, etc., meaning anything else that you might possibly think you need, like for instance, a change of clothes, especially if you have a uniform during your scene or not. If you don't have one, again, that's perfectly fine. This is, again, just kind of the things that I try to keep in my bag. And that is basically all that we really have for today. Thank you so much for tuning into our channel. We hope that you did like this video. If you did, please make sure you hit that like button. And if you want to hear more from us, please hit that subscribe button. And don't forget that bell so you get notified whenever we post next. And remember, please stay safe and stay kinky. Bye.